get her,
get her ready to go.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Happy back from vacay.
Hi, everybody. Hope everybody is appropriately boned this morning. I'm getting boned right now, getting my coffee ready. I've got some bonage going on right here. And, okay, I have my heart pants on, so don't make fun. But I did want to show you that I have these socks. These
so
are heat
awesome.
holders socks from heat holders. These are the thin ones. Like, so they have different levels of warmth essentially. And if you like a thin feeling sock and you don't want your, you don't want your stuff to get too bulky in shoes, dang it, Rumble's broken. Rumble is borked.
Come on, Rumble.
Anyway, this is the thin version. So they've got the 3 versions of the warmth. They have thin, and then they have like a medium one that's a little bit thicker. And then they have like the ones that we've shown you before, where it's just super fat, furry, awesome, warm socks. Oh,
so great on cold days on the ranch. Like when your feet, you feel like you're, and I have rainouts. If you guys don't know what rainout syndrome is, but my feet, like that, my toes and my fingers turn blue, like it went out in the cold.
Oh, so rain out. I thought you said rain out, like a rain out.
Rainout. It's like rainout syndrome. And so it like, seriously, I need those socks when it's cold. I need them. So, and they work. And so they are the best. They are the best. And it's like the perfect stocking stuffer ever. And so and it's not just socks, right? Like they've got socks, which is like their bestseller, but they also have the gloves, the hats, the long johns, so many warm, toasty things to keep you cozy during the colder months. So you can get 15% off when you use code CHICKS at heatholders.com. And if you spend $25 or more, you get free shipping on every order. So make sure to check them out because you've still got time before Christmas. Heatholders.com, code CHICKS. And you guys make sure you're going to our website, chicksontheright.com, from whence all good things come.
Whence.
It's chicksontheright.com. Our writers have been writing all over the holidays. I did not write so much over the holidays.
I did not either.
I ate a lot. I ate a lot of things. I did not write a lot of things, but I will be back to writing today, as you will be writing a lot of things today. So make sure you check out our website at chicksontheright.com.
And so, yes, Miss Cadillac knows why I have my name today. Yes, as a matter of fact, one of the posts I'm going to be writing is about the whole fight between Alyssa Milano and Elon Musk. It is hilarious. And so it's really, you have to see the whole tweet storm to understand the whole fight. But essentially, Alyssa Milano has been the longtime fan of Elon Musk. People are grabbing screenshots of all the many, many times that she has she has literally sucked up to him like you would not believe, saying that he's brilliant and talented and amazing and she loves him and blah, blah, blah. Like forever. She's loved him until he owned Twitter. And now he's, of course, a Nazi, right?
So it's unbelievable. These people, I swear to God.
So now she like made this big production about how she is turning in her Tesla and she's gotten herself a VW electric vehicle instead. And so the Hodge twins tweeted her and they were like, yeah, VW was literally formed by the Nazis. So.
Yeah. Good job. Good job fighting white supremacy. Good job, you. Good job.
It's so perfect. Anyway, that is.
And Elon liked that tweet. I mean, he was all about that tweet.
He was had like one of those laughing emojis.
Yeah. It's like, that was great. God, what an idiot.
Yeah. Oh my God. She's just so dumb. And then also, before we get to videos, if you guys have not seen this story about the Manhattan pharma heiress who had her mom hired a deprogrammer, which I did not even know this was a thing, you guys. But this is some rich girl who got sent to all the best schools, right? She gets sent to Mount Holyoke in Western Massachusetts for high school. And she becomes a crazed liberal lunatic in the process because they completely indoctrinate her to the point, and she grew up very, very conservative, to the point where her mom hired a deprogrammer $300 a day to undo the crazy thinking that was taught to her in high school. And now she's talking about it. So now this woman, her name is Annabella Rockwell. Okay. So you probably recognize the name. So now she's talking about what it's like to be deprogrammed from a liberal indoctrination. It's totally fascinating.
All she had to do was come hang out with us. Why did she make $300 a day? She could have had the cold bargain of hanging out with us or the insiders group. You know what I mean?
That's true.
She could have hung out with our insiders and they would have been like, come on, or come to a meet and greet. And then she would have been like, these people are cool, you know? $300 a day.
Well, they got the money. I can assure you that they have plenty of money for that.
Wow. So she's a conservative again? Is that the deal? So she has been successfully deprogrammed.
She's been deprogrammed, and she's talking about the experience of being indoctrinated.
Wow.
And so the whole thing is fascinating because she's recovered from it, right? But she is now wise enough to how it happens that she's able to talk about it and say how ridiculous the whole line of thinking is. It's incredible. Like
that is fascinating. That really, that is truly fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's pretty cool. So make sure that you check that out. I saw it on the Daily Mail. I think it's everywhere at this point because it's a pretty impressive story. Anyway. The big news, of course, of the weekend is that Trump has somehow managed to step on his own wiener once again by having dinner with Nick Fuentes, who apparently was a guest of Kanye's. Kanye was welcomed to Mar-a-Lago to have dinner with Trump, but Kanye brought with him, I guess, a former campaign person on Trump's team who is now working with Kanye for his 2024 campaign, and Nick Fuentes, who is one of the most despicable people on the planet. He's a known Holocaust denier, just known psychopath. Like, he's absolutely gross. And so, the fact that he was at Trump's having dinner it did not go over well with not just Democrats, obviously, but a lot of people are upset. A lot of Republicans are just like, really? I mean, things are already not looking good for you because you're doing so many things that are bad. And now this on top of it.
And the people who are making excuses for him for this, because listen, I've made excuses for a lot of crap he's done in the past, but when you make excuses for like having dinner with a dude that, like, when you deny the Holocaust, when you say the Holocaust didn't happen, like you're that guy, and then you're having dinner with that guy. Come on, like, don't make excuses for that. Like, this is when I kind of go, can you just not do that? Because that guy, we don't want to hang out with a guy like that. We just don't want to do that.
It's just not, it was just one of those, once again, it's just an unforced error. It's just and I don't know why this is something that he consistently does. But the fact is, Kanye's getting into this presidential race. He apparently went to dinner there to ask Trump to be his running mate, you guys, which I'm just like, what is even happening?
I think him having dinner with Kanye at this point was probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
I think just I think he probably should have just chilled out for a little while, just because of the press that he's been getting over the past with the insults flying towards DeSantis and everything else. Like, who is his, everybody needs a handler, especially when you are thinking about running for president or you have been a president. Everybody needs some sort of a PR person, everybody does in that sort of a position. And I wonder who is handling him.
I don't think anybody can handle him.
Right. That was my point. I don't think he listens to anybody, which I know a lot of people really love. And listen, I liked it too at first. I liked that he just sort of marched to his own drum, right? But at this point, he probably needs somebody, like, even if it's like a Dana Perino type person, you know what I mean? Who's just very level-headed, that's saying, hey, you know what? This may not be a good idea, or just somebody to bounce ideas off of.
Well, Kellyanne Conway, I think, would be great at that. It's just I don't think he is manageable. I think he's just like, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do.
He's a bull in a china shop. Listen, it can be good sometimes for, when you're telling the truth and you're out there, saying the things, and that's great. But in these sorts of situations, not so good. It's just not going to be, because it's not going to help him win. It's just not.
No, it doesn't help in any way, shape, or form. And so naturally, when the backlash started, and the reason that this even became public is because Kanye was very, very open about how he thought it went. And we'll get to that video in just a second. But as soon as the news broke and then Trump realized, oh, I got to explain myself, he took to Truth Social to do just that. And so here is what he said. He said, "So I help a seriously troubled man who just happens to be Black, yay, Kanye West, who has been decimated in his business and virtually everything else, and who has always been good to me by allowing his request for a meeting at Mar-a-Lago alone so that I can give him very much needed advice. He shows up with 3 people, 2 of which I didn't know, the other a political person who I hadn't seen in years. I told him, don't run for office, total waste of time, can't win, fake news went crazy." So that is what Trump tweeted about the meeting. And then here is what Kanye said about the meeting.
I think the thing that Trump was most perturbed about, me asking him to be my vice president, I think that was like lower on the list of things that caught him off guard. It was the fact that I walked in with intelligence. So Trump is really impressed with Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes, unlike so many of the lawyers and so many people that he was left with on his 2020 campaign, he's actually a loyalist. When he didn't know what the lawyers is, you'll still have your lawyer list. And when all the lawyers said, forget it, Trump's done, there are loyalists running up in the White House, right? And my question would be, why, when you had the chance, did you not free the January 6ers? And I came to him as someone who loves Trump, and I said, go and get Corey back. Go and get these people that the media tried to cancel and told you to step away from. He basically gives me this would-be mob-esque kind of story, talking to some kid from the south side of Chicago trying to sound mobby or whatever. He goes into the story about all that he went through to get Alice Johnson out of jail and how he didn't do it for Kim, but he did it for me. But then he goes on to say that Kim is a and you can tell her I said that. And I was thinking, like, that's the mother of my children. Since we know, and all the Christians in America that love Trump know that Trump is a conservative, we're going to demand that you hold all policies directly to the Bible. When Trump started basically screaming at me at the table, telling me I was going to lose, I mean, has that ever worked for anyone in history?
You're going to lose. Tell him he's going to lose.
I'm like, well, hold on, Trump. You're talking to Ye.
Things are going to be lit in 2024.
So I know, right? It's going to be crazy.
Oh
It's just the craziness has already started. Meanwhile, like I was watching The Wedding Singer this weekend. You know, it's like I haven't seen The Wedding Singer in forever. And you know that scene where Drew Barrymore and what's his name, the dude, the lead dude, I can't remember his name now, but they're like trying out wedding singers.
Yeah.
And remember the dude that is up there, he's trying out, and the dude that is like so cheesy and he's trying out for the, yes, Lovitz, John Lovitz, he's trying out for the thing. And then the guy, Adam Sandler, who's gone kind of crazy, like in that moment. And he's like getting ready. He's going like behind the curtain. He's like, you're going crazy and I'm reaping all the benefits. And he goes, after he tries out, that's what this kind of reminds me of right now. It's like, that's that's your dude. That's DeSantis, right? DeSantis he's John Lovitz right now, where he's just sort of like, he's on the stage, he's kind of watching all the crazy right now. And he's like, listen, people are going crazy and I'm going to reap all the benefits.
I think he might.
Because it's going to be a freaking circus, you guys. Like and it doesn't have to be. I think that's the point here. It doesn't have to be a circus. Like people could just calm down and not have lunches with crazy people, you know, like why do we have to do this? Why, if you just, all he has to do is go, hey, you know what, is this a good idea? Like, is it a good idea to have a lunch with a guy who's a Holocaust denier? Just ask somebody. Like, that's all it takes. It's just
it's going to be really interesting to see how Trump manages this relationship going forward, because you know, I think he's always liked the fact that Kanye's been in his corner. But if he sees Kanye as a direct threat, oh, it's going to get ugly, and it's going to get ugly fast.
Not only is he a direct threat, but a lot of people see him now as an anti-Semite.
Yeah.
So that's a problem.
It's a problem. It is a problem.
Yeah.
Well, and you had wanted me to read Ben Shapiro's tweet about this, because now, of course, you know, Kanye's fighting with the Daily Wire, because that's
not helpful
right now.
Yeah, none of this is helpful. There's so much infighting. None of this is helpful.
No, it's a complete disaster. So what Ben said is, a good way not to accidentally dine with a vile racist and anti-Semite you don't know is to not dine with a vile racist and anti-Semite that you do know.
Yeah,
so that would have been a good step for Trump to just be like, maybe a dinner with Kanye, not a great idea right now.
I mean, I feel like, because listen, you probably don't want to, you know, start fights with like Jeremy Boring, you know? I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're running for president, if you're planning on running for president, it's probably not in your best interest to do that. Right. I'm not saying that it's not good to go toe to toe with people if you feel strong and you have a case. But I just would think that would be somebody you wouldn't want to pick a fight with.
Well, and it's going to be, I mean, I can see it in the comments right now. There's going to be the loyalists to Trump.
Totally.
It does not matter what he does. It doesn't matter who he's with or what he says. They're going to stand by him no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no standard that he can fall below. None.
Right.
They don't care what he does. He can literally just start murdering puppies.
That's fine. That's fine. And I really liked him too. But the Holocaust happened. Just putting that out there. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And this really says something about the people who are mad at DeSantis. Think about this. The people who are Trump loyalists are trying to criticize DeSantis for having conversations with mainstream establishment Republicans. They're trying to say DeSantis cannot be president, cannot be considered, because he has talked to establishment Republicans. Meanwhile, Trump is talking to Holocaust deniers, and they're going to defend that. So make that make sense. You know what I mean?
Right. I hear
like
you.
That,
yeah.
You can't like say that someone is disqualified based on who they talk to, and then say that they're not disqualified based on who they talk to just because it's your guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like, I have no problem with DeSantis having conversations with actual leadership Republicans. That's a normal thing to me. And they're just
it used to be. It used to be. You know, it used to be a normal thing. Yeah.
Everything is so freaking batshit right
It
now.
It is kind of batshit. I know. Again with the whole like I miss the 80s, you know, I watched a lot of TV the past couple days, and I watched a lot of like stuff, documentary style stuff. And there was a bunch of stuff like on Reagan that I watched. And I was like, man, I miss that time. Yeah. Because you can still be strong and you can still be sort of anti-establishment while still be working with the establishment. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You can still do that. You can still kind of toe the line a little bit, because we still have to work together. You know, you can still be a conservative and a Republican at the same time, because you got to do that. You still have to do that a little bit to make things work. And there's just a lot of infighting right now. It's not going to be helpful. It's going to play into the hands of Democrats, and Democrats will reap the benefits of that.
And you know, what if Kanye decides to run as an independent? You know, then there are the crazy people who think Kanye should actually be president. And so who does he pull votes from? Does he pull like votes from Democrats because like his fan base full of hip hop fans are going to be like, oh yeah, Kanye is a cultural icon, so I'm going to vote for him? Would those like low information people come from Democrats? But then are there also going to be conservatives who are like, he's the real Christian in this fight, I'm going to vote for Kanye? You know what I mean? I don't even know who he would pull votes from. I just know it's going to be a complete cluster.
It's going to be a cluster. Yeah, 2024 is going to be a cluster.
Oh my God. It's going to be crazy. And because times are so crazy right now, this is a good time for you to be thinking about how you might diversify your finances, your financial portfolio. So if you have not yet dabbled into precious metals, we know a great company with whom you can dabble. And that is Birch Gold. Birch Gold helps you either convert an existing IRA or set up a new IRA that is based on precious metals that are backed. And so it's a nice, secure way to invest in precious metals. And it's also just one more way of diversifying so that you're not just looking at stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and such. You're also looking at precious metals. And so if you're just thinking about wanting to know information about it, there's no commitment or obligation. All you have to do is text the word chicks to 989898. They're going to send you so much free information so that you can make an informed decision about whether or not this is a good thing for you to do. It's just information. That's why we recommend that you at least learn about it and then make your own decision from there. So you just text chicks to 989898 to get your information kit from Birch Gold.
And also check out our insiders, our Facebook insiders, and our locals group is chicksontheright.locals.com. And our Facebook insiders, you guys, the most fantastic people. Just love our insiders. If you have not found your place or your people, those are your people.
That's right. And if you are a Facebook insider or local supporter, then you would have seen the Christmas house that I posted over Thanksgiving break.
45 trees.
45 Christmas trees in the house.
My God. I'm not going to say she's crazy, but I'm not going to say it either.
I mean,
you guys think I'm crazy for putting trees up in October? It's fine. You do you, lady. You do you.
Oh my God. It was amazing. So again, if you're an insider or supporter, you can see that video. You can sign up anytime and still see that. Okay, we also have to talk about what's going. The house is huge. Suke, it is humongous. It was probably, I want to say it was 7,000 square feet. It was like two houses stacked on.
And
top
she
of
lives
one
by
another.
herself. She lives by
herself. And she starts in September.
She has to. You have to. Yeah.
You have to. And every single tree has its own theme. So there was a moose tree, a tree with nothing but moose decorations. It was like nothing I've ever seen. Anyway. And speaking of the insiders, shout out to Kim Abrams Kim Abrams has a consulting firm where she does 3D architectural design drawings for people. And she's helping me with the designs for my house. And she's amazing. So shout out to you, Kim. And thank you so much for your help. Okay, we got to talk about, I know there's no Rumble today. I don't know why it breaks once a month because Rumble is not, they don't have their shit together. Sorry, Rumble, but you don't. So every month I have to do a new code to get it connected. I don't know why, but that's just the Rumble way. So it'll be fixed tomorrow. There are massive uprisings right now happening in China because of the severe lockdowns and restrictions that they have with their zero COVID policy.
Good.
And their zero COVID policy, by the way, is resulting in a huge increase of cases because lockdowns don't freaking work.
They don't work.
And so the people are finally rising up. It's extraordinary.
It's about time. It's about freaking time. It's about damn time. Yeah.
In a minute. So it is about time and good for the Chinese people. I think what the straw that broke the camel's back was that there was a huge high-rise apartment building that caught fire. And because these people were literally welded inside, that's the extent to which China is forcing people to stay indoors. They're literally welding the doors shut. If you don't have food, sucks for you. But 10 people died in this apartment fire because they could not get out. And so finally, the people are like, this is enough. This is enough. And here is a quick little news report about what's taking place right now.
Anger continues to boil over in China over the government's unrelenting zero COVID policies. Protests have erupted in multiple cities across China, demanding an end to strict government COVID restrictions and lockdowns. In some parts of the country, residents have been forced to stay in their homes for weeks on end. Officials there saying that the restrictions are necessary to protect lives. Now, despite the lockdowns, China is seeing a record number of COVID cases since the start of the pandemic. Authorities this week reported more than 30,000 new cases a day.
So
I don't know.
Have we learned a lesson yet, for crying out loud?
Exactly. And maybe just let them get out and breathe. And I'm so delighted to see that this is happening. Yeah. Like, I was just like, when are they going to like rise up against these freaking commies? When are they going to, and here we are.
Here we are. And let's hope they continue, because they're like building a 90,000 person camp, like so that they can house anybody that has been diagnosed with COVID. I mean, they're freaking insane over there.
Yeah, they're insane. They are insane. And people like, the Faucis of the world will defend them.
Yeah, and make excuses for them. Which is perfect segue. Perfect segue. Because Fauci, of course, needs all of the attention. All of it. So he continues to show up on all the talk shows to tell us all that we need, like our vaccines, whatever, and to also make excuses essentially for China. So I can't remember what reporter this is. It doesn't matter who's interviewing him. It doesn't matter. He was on every talk show known to man.
Every single one.
Every single one. So, and he's asked about, what do you have to say about the whole cover up? The Chinese will not actually own up to their contribution to this entire pandemic. And so he's like, well, is it a cover-up? I mean, that has this very specific definition.
I don't know what it means.
Washington Post editorial board had an interesting piece on this recently. I don't know if you read it, but about the secrecy regarding the origins.
God, I hate his face.
And it says the world owes those who died, 6 million people, but probably twice that or more, to be better prepared in the future.
Look at him.
The cover-up is immense and still in place. China should now agree to a full and thorough scientific investigation that returns to Wuhan. Do you agree with that word, cover up, and intentional?
I don't know what that
distortion
means. No, it isn't that I agree or disagree. I'm not sure what they're talking about. I mean, if cover up is not allowing people to come in and look at all the data, that's not a cover up. That's not being transparent. To me, a cover-up
like the animals being killed before anyone could go into the market to investigate that.
Again, I don't want to. It's going to be taken out of context by others for sure, but that's my life. Cover-up means something and you're hiding it. Not being transparent and allowing things open is a little bit of a different.
Oh my God!
It looks like it's check cleared from China. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Well, and then he has the audacity to basically blame China's lack of transparency on Trump. Okay, this is what an apologist he is for China. Here's another piece of that same interview.
Happens is that if you look at the anti-China approach that clearly the Trump administration had right from the very beginning, and the accusatory nature, the Chinese are going to flinch back and say, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to talk to you about it, which is not correct.
But they're not talking to the Biden administration about it either.
Exactly. I think that horse is out of the barn, and they're very suspicious of anybody trying to accuse them. We need to have an open dialogue with their scientists and our scientists, keep the politics out of it, and let the scientists, these are scientists that we've known for decades.
Keep the politics out of it? Keep the politics out of it? You schmuck. Like, it's been all politics. Are you kidding me? And he is political. Like that. Oh my God. To say that we need to keep first of all, have you seen China? Have you seen it lately? We just showed a clip of China and they're uprising against their commie government. And he's on the side of that.
Right. In that same interview, he even said, like, schools might shut down again. Depends on where they are in the country. The local health authorities need to figure that out. But, like, he's still talking about potential lockdowns and restrictions. And I'm just like, how much more evidence do we need that this does not work?
Like, it's asinine because if you listen, I don't know. I pay attention to a lot of, obviously, what's going on here in Texas. But across the country, of course, we haven't been as locked down here. We weren't as locked down in rural Indiana either. Like, in where I was, at least in Indiana. Now, where you were, you had to wear masks longer than where I was. And then when we moved, we moved to Texas, obviously. So it wasn't as bad, where my kid was. She didn't have to wear a mask, which was great. So we're very fortunate in that respect. But I look around the country and a lot of these kids now are getting RSV. They're getting really bad sicknesses because they were locked down. And you hear these stupid asshats on TV now in the government saying, well, I mean, these kids haven't been, they've not been exposed to these sicknesses over the past couple. Gee, you think they haven't been exposed? You think? brain surgeon. I mean, like, we could have told you that if you wouldn't have locked them down and you would have exposed them to the things, because kids are pretty resilient and they weren't affected by COVID like adults were, or even, I mean, we weren't even affected as much as they thought. They said, you know, they told us that we were going to be affected by it, but kids weren't affected. And so if we wouldn't have locked them down, they wouldn't have been the world of hurt that they're in now by some of these other things, these other viruses they're being, you know, subjected to. So it's just, I'm not listening to any of it. When I see Fauci's face, I'm just like, I just go, I'm not listening to this little troll. I'm not listening to him because he's wrong. He's been wrong about so many things, so many things.
And it's just amazing that he won't, he'll say these things, see what's happening in China, take no accountability for having those exact same philosophies, and then act like this poor victim that he's being politicized and that people are attaching his name to negativity. And I'm just like, you are the mastermind of all of the problems.
Yeah,
literally,
totally.
It's you.
I can't believe
it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. It's
I know.
You should be singing that song, Fauci.
Totally. And I can't believe that he's still the highest paid government employee and we're paying him a pension and we're paying him this ridiculous salary. I can't believe he still has a job. And there are so many people out of jobs because of him.
Yep.
Like, when I see his face, he makes me sick. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's
and
gross.
now, like, right in his shadow is that Dr. Jha guy, who is also just absolutely worthless, super pushy on the, what is it, like the quadrivalent at this point vaccine that they want everybody to get now, because it's going to be like a bad flu, bad COVID, bad everything winter. And
Whatever.
so the problem is that he was on he was on one of the talk shows being asked about the antibiotic shortage and the freaking Tylenol shortage that's happening in some areas of the country. And his answer to that is, yeah, there's supply chain issues, but you guys, we have tons of COVID vaccine. Yay. I mean, I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. You have to look at this for yourself. Watch.
There's this shortage of amoxicillin and even ibuprofen in some places.
Yeah.
What do they do about that?
Yeah, this is, we have some broader supply chain issues with our medications that we've had for decades. I have seen this as a practicing clinician. I often, when I walk into the hospital, find some normal medicine that I'm used to using not available. We have got to continue working on that. We've made a lot of strides in this administration, but our work here is not done. So we have got to continue making sure that these medicines are available. I will tell you, the good news is, plenty of vaccines for flu and COVID, plenty of treatments for flu and COVID. Those are still out there. We have plenty of those, but we've got to work on the other things.
Yeah. Yeah. So if my baby needs a fever, my baby has a fever, I'm going to give her the COVID vaccine. Like, shut up.
Or bacterial infection. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, for you.
Like, but here's the thing. Like, they just, it's like all the words that they use. It's like all the same stuff. We're making strides. We're doing the work.
We've got work to do.
We're doing the work. We got the work to do. We're making like, they say the same crap over and over again. It's like, shut up. People need Tylenol. They need Tylenol. They need ibuprofen. This is what they want. So then why is there a shortage? What's going on? What's the problem?
Well, it doesn't help that so much of this is made in China, right? I mean, we've talked about that before. That is super terrifying and it's not okay. And it needs to stop. Like, we need to start making some of these things in our own country.
Yeah.
And so hopefully the work that they're doing includes some of that, because that's what really needs to happen. But contributing to the supply chain and contributing to price issues is this looming rail strike, right? So that we're still talking about the fact that there could be a huge railroad strike. And there's now mixed messages that we're getting from this White House about how directly involved Joe Biden is in any of the negotiations that were trying to happen with the unions and to prevent this strike from happening. Because if that happens, you guys, if you think prices of stuff are high now, it's going to explode. Prices of everything are going to explode. Availability of everything is going to tank. And so it's a real problem. And somebody put together, like, they juxtaposed Biden just over this past weekend in Nantucket being asked about the strike and his involvement in it. And he's basically saying, well, I'm not involved. I got people to do that for me. And then Karine saying the exact opposite. Look, are you involved?
Parties again?
My team has been in touch with all the parties, in rooms with the parties.
I have not directly engaged yet.
The president is indeed involved directly. Yes, the president has been clearly. He's been he's been briefed, but he has actually been directly involved. No, I just said he's been direct. I said this is the third time I'm saying he's been directly involved, and he has been directly involved. Again, the president has been directly involved. I just said the president has been directly involved. So I could say this: he's been directly involved since before there was even a tentative agreement. The president is directly involved, as I have said.
These people are so inept. I swear to God. Is it being run by just complete morons, our country?
I mean, it's just incredible. Right?
I know. Uh-huh.
Oh my God. And for him to be like, well, I'm not directly involved. I mean, so hopefully in today's presser, they'll be like, yeah, he said he's not directly involved. So now what, Karine? Now what? I hope
she'll just flip. She'll just keep flipping. She'll just keep flipping.
You know, they need to have Peter in the front row, like holding up the big sign that says, you're a big liar.
Oh my God. It just doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter because he's outnumbered, you know?
Yeah.
So it says they're never going to be held accountable for anything. It just doesn't matter. Listen, speaking of like supply chain and everything, another thing that we have to, I'm not trying to freak everybody out, but it's another thing that really, it does actually freak me out is the fact that like farms and ranches are shutting down by the day across the country. And so we're going to eventually have to we're going to be looking to other countries to get our food.
Oh my God.
And I don't think people care about that as much as they should. That freaks me out more than a lot of more than even medicine. It freaks me out. The food thing freaks me out. I don't think people care because they just go to the grocery store and they're like, la, 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 we're getting our food. Like, we don't know where it comes from. You know, especially people that live in big cities, they just don't care. But farms and ranches, I mean, it's like, what was I read that I think it's like less than, I don't know, it was something less than 2 or 5% of ranches and farms make like more than $100,000 a year. They can't live on that. And so they're shutting down like crazy. We just don't, we cannot sustain ourselves on the food that we're making within our own country. So we're going to, of course, that's another thing that's going to be outsourced to other countries.
Yep.
You know, and
that's why the climate crusaders are like, you guys should learn how to eat bugs. Yeah.
Bite
Here's
me.
How to, I know.
Yeah.
Here's a bug recipe. Here's how to eat crickets.
And they demonize farms and ranches, you know, and then meanwhile, they'll go to Starbucks and get themselves a latte. Right. And it's like, do you know where soy comes from? Because you got soy in that. You know what I mean? It's like, what? These people are infuriating. So I don't know. It's just something I wanted to point out. People just don't think, you know?
They don't. It's awful. Okay, we need to liven things up a little bit. I know that you've seen this clip that some genius put together of AOC and Elon Musk, who you know are also fighting. So Alyssa Milano is not the only person fighting with Elon Musk on Twitter. Everybody's mad at Elon. It totally reminds me of when all the celebrities used to love Trump, right? They loved him. They called for them. They loved him. The second that he had an R next to his name, they were like, he's a Nazi devil. Right. And so the same exact thing is happening to Elon Musk right now. And, you know, AOC probably thinks he wants to date her because that's what she thinks.
I think she wants to date him. I think she
might want to date him.
I think Alyssa Milano does too. I think they both are like, he's hot. I secretly want to date him.
Well, now they're both mad at him, as you know, but somebody has put together this hilarious little video montage of AOC and Elon making eyes at each other. And it's just perfect.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. You have to remember too that Elon Musk dated Amber Heard. Let's all just think back.
Oh my God. That's
remember?
Right.
He dated her for more than like a year. I mean, they were together, you guys. He dated that psycho. Think about that.
Yeah. He's just a crazy genius.
Yeah. I wonder if she crapped on the bed when they were together. Think about it.
No, but oh my God. I died laughing at that video.
I know.
So great.
I know. It's so funny.
Okay, couple more things before we get to whack. This thing, I do not follow mixed martial arts at all. I don't know any of the players. I don't know anything about it whatsoever. But apparently there is a mixed martial arts guy named Patty the Batty.
I love it. I love that name so much. I love it.
And so this guy was walking his dog, and his dog apparently had some sort of unfortunate stomach issue.
He had tacos. He had bad tacos. The dog. It happens.
Whereby you could not clean up after the dog.
Happens.
Normally, etiquette would require that you pick up after your dog. You can't
Happens,
do that when the dog has this kind of issue.
Mhm.
But props to Patty the Batty, man.
Right.
Because he went straight to the house where his dog had the accident to fess up and say and apologize that he couldn't clean up the mess. And the people on the other side of the Ring doorbell recognized him. And it's just the most British conversation ever. So you guys are going to love this. I just love that whole thing so much.
He had a sloppy shit. I cannot with that. That's so cute.
I just
God
love
bless
that
him.
so much. I know.
It's so sweet because he didn't have to do that. And it's
I
dark.
know.
They would have never known. They would have never known. And if it rained or something, it would have just washed it away.
Exactly. And I love that she was like, you don't have to worry about that, Patty the Batty.
Are you Patty the Batty? I'll clean it up.
Anyway, I just love that. It's such a feel good. And I have one more feel good before we get to whack, and that is of Harris Faulkner. So I don't know if you guys realize Harris Faulkner, recent author, she's written a book and it is doing very well. And so her agent wanted to tell her some good news about her book. She did not know what he was calling to tell her, but you're going to see that she basically got a text from her agent saying, hey, I'm going to call you, record the call. Okay. And so then you're going to see her reaction to this news.
So I just got a text message from my friend and colleague at work at Fox, Michael Tamaro, who says, I'm going to call you, record this. Oh, wait, this is him. Michael? Michael, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Good, fantastic. Well, I have some fantastic news on this Thanksgiving Eve. It's an honor to be talking to a new #1 New York Times best-selling author.
God bless her.
Still moves mountains, baby.
Oh my gosh. That is not what I thought you were going to tell me. I mean, we've been talking about so much. I thought, did he come to Arizona for a book signing? I mean, does he have more bookmarkers for the prayer circles? We're running out. I mean, oh my gosh.
Congratulations, you did
Thank
it.
you. Oh my goodness.
Isn't that the cutest?
That is really, really great. Good for her. And it's a book about, which is like even better, right? Good for her.
That.
It's fantastic.
So great.
She's awesome.
Do you want to remind everybody that in our radio days, there was the clip of the Green Needle brainstorm phenomenon?
Yeah, there's like Green Needle something. What was it?
Brainstorm.
Brainstorm Green Needle. It was an audio clip, and some people heard Green Needle, some people heard brainstorm. And then remember there was also like the video one too, where some people saw a blue dress, some people saw that. Remember that? Like
gold
there was
dress, yep.
The gold dress. There was that whole phenomenon where people did that. Like it just the green Needle brainstorm. I can't remember what I heard. I can't remember, but
I heard both. I heard both, depending on like what you are focused on, right? Like, so if you're thinking about hearing Green Needle, that's what you hear. If you're thinking about hearing brainstorm, that's what you hear.
Right. So over the weekend on Saturday, this clip from Toy Story came up. And so, of course, one of my favorite movies, the Toy Story series, really, I love Toy Story. So it came up where there's a scene where, I guess like the dolls are talking and the Ken doll's talking. And instead of saying Barbie, which you're supposed to hear Barbie, the F-bomb you can hear the F-bomb, right? And of course, that's all I can hear. Okay. So I play it in front of my 12-year-old daughter and I'm like, what do you hear? And she goes, I hear Barbie because she's good and her heart is pure. Okay. But all I hear is the F-bomb now because apparently my heart is not pure. Right.
You sent it to me yesterday and you're like, what do you hear? And I immediately heard the F-bomb. And I didn't know, I didn't read it to see what I was supposed to hear. So I listened completely with virgin ears. And I immediately heard the F-bomb. But then when I read the caption and it said, do you hear the F-bomb or do you hear Barbie? I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to re-listen. And so I thought about hearing Barbie, and then that's what I heard. So it's like crazy. You can hear it either way.
But even when I knew that I was supposed to hear Barbie, I heard the F-bomb.
So now I suggested to you to close your eyes and think about Barbie when we play it right now.
Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to try.
Just focus as hard as you can on the word Barbie. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to play it for everybody right now. And you guys are going to decide, do you hear the F-bomb or do you hear Barbie? So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Is everybody ready? Here we go.
I heard Barbie.
See?
I heard the F-bomb.
But you can hear Barbie if you think about it.
You can hear, you can hear both. I mean,
you can totally hear both. It's so crazy.
You can hear both. It is crazy.
That is nuts.
Isn't it? I know. It's so weird. I just kept hearing the F-bomb over and over again. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
But when you closed your eyes, it worked?
It worked. The first time when I closed my eyes, I heard Barbie. Yeah. Okay. So maybe there isn't that much wrong with me after all.
A lot of people are hearing the F-bomb. I see a few Barbies. I see a few boths. But yeah, I mean, this is the new green needle brainstorm phenomenon. I don't know how
whack. It's totally whack. There you go, guys. There you go.
And it was a perfect whack because it was part of talks. It was part of today's My Pillow talks. And don't forget, you guys, sets of towels on mega sale right now at mypillow.com/chicks. We were at my in-laws for Thanksgiving, and thankfully they have My Pillow towels there, so it felt very home-like to be there. So huge discounts on towels and on everything else. mypillow.com/chicks. I have the best talks for you today. You can see the jumping dog in the corner right now. Can you not?
Yes.
You guys, look at how high this lab can go.
Oh my God.
I don't think he's excited. Right there?
He's so
He wants
excited.
dinner. He wants dinner so bad. Look at it.
Oh my God. And then there's Boone. And he's just
so patient.
He's just like, that guy's crazy. Oh my God.
Black dogs can't jump.
I just love that. Oh my God. Okay. Hide your kids, hide your wives, because this is a naughty joke. Okay.
Okay.
Hide them. Hide them. Here we go.
Stop eating crab legs. How would you feel if somebody cracked your legs open and ate your insides?
That was my honeymoon.
Stop eating crab legs. How would you feel if somebody cracked your legs open and ate your insides?
That was my honeymoon.
So naughty.
That was naughty. It was very good.
But I liked it. Okay.
I did too.
Difference between men and women. We can always count on Chris Biggs to sort of set that out for us. Here we go.
Tell me something about the female body you wish you learned in school but didn't.
That unlike the male body, which requires food and water to function, the female can run strictly on a diet of spite and the tears of broken men.
Oh my God, I love him so much. Okay, now we have a child total spirit animal, because this is also how I react when I see nuggets.
He's like, oh my God, it's the 20 pack. It is the 20 pack. Yes. Wow. Wow. Yes. There's the sauce.
Oh my God. Also, I did not know that you could get a group of dogs to jump rope, but you totally can.
Oh
Look
my
at this.
gosh.
It's amazing.
That is remarkable. Look at the ones on the chairs. Did you see the ones on the chairs?
No.
They were spectators. Look at the spectators.
They are. They're totally spectating.
They're totally spectating.
Oh my gosh.
Are they like the ones that can't jump? They're the ones that are like, we're just here to watch.
And see, that's China. So you know this is what happens on lockdown. This is what happens. They're either making dogs jump rope or they're eating them.
Right.
Either or.
Totally.
Okay, we have to show a bird too, because this bird is so pissed that his food bowl is empty. Look at what he does. That bird is like,
he's
so mad.
pissed.
Oh my God, so mad.
So mad.
Okay, the last one, I'm actually going to post this because this is such an important thing. It needs to be seen by absolutely everybody in the universe. There's a woman who's going to show an old clip. I'm not sure who this clip is of, but it's like super old timey and you'll see it. It's of a man who is describing so exactly what's happening right now with Democrats talking about our democracy. We're hearing that over and over and over again for a reason. And she does a great job of explaining and highlighting exactly what that reason is. Everybody needs to know this. When I get this posted this morning, share it with everybody that you know, because it has to get out there.
So I don't remember how many accounts ago it was, but I did a video on why our politicians keep repeating democracy, democracy, democracy. And it's primarily to use repetition to convince society that that's what we are versus a constitutional republic. And people are like, well, why would they do that? Here's why.
Constitutional republic, not a democracy. The ideal of a democracy is universal equality. The ideal of a constitutional republic is individual liberty. A democracy always degenerates into dictatorship, which promises government-guaranteed equality and security, but it delivers nothing but poverty and serfdom for the people it robs and rules. America was founded as a constitutional republic to safeguard the liberties of the people against the tyranny of democracy or of one-man dictatorship. In this century, great strides have been made toward the goal of subverting our republic into a democracy. The foremost tactic of the subverters is subversion of language. By calling America a democracy until people thoughtlessly accept and use the term, the totalitarians have obscured the real meaning of our principles of government.
I mean,
because it is. It drives you crazy every time you hear them say democracy, because we're not a freaking democracy. And it's like kids always say that too. And you're like, have you ever taken oh, that's right. You've never taken a civics class.
Right,
that's right.
That question.
You go to public, you go to school here in America. That's right. I mean, I was going to say public school, but like private schools know better. It's like nobody has learned. Seriously. I mean, you go to school in America. You've not taken civics. That's right. Okay.
But I mean, it's true. Democrats really do. They understand the power of repetition so well, and they're constantly playing with semantics in order to get their narratives to stick, and they do it brilliantly. Like it's something that Republicans need to do more of, because it is so effective. When you repeat and repeat and repeat, it not only, even if you're repeating a lie, that lie then is just internalized as fact and truth.
Well, the one thing that they have that we don't, they have more than one thing, but they have the media and they have pop culture and they have all those things to repeat the lie. We can repeat things all we want, but we're kind of we're in this little group over here where we don't have all of the big, we don't have the media, and we don't have pop culture, we don't have celebrities, we don't have all of these people being able to repeat what we have to say. So we have to work harder. We have to work a hell of a lot harder to do it,
Yep. It's absolutely right. So I will have that posted up on our website here in the next hour or two. So just make sure that if you can grab that video and save it with others. It's just so important, at least so that you can potentially open up the eyes of someone who is hearing that, so that they stop and think, why is this such a part of the lexicon right now? Why am I constantly hearing that word? Well, that's why. It's by design, and everybody needs to know it.
You're being brainwashed.
You're being brainwashed. And we don't need deprogrammers. You just need to be here.
Right. Come on in.
Come on in. That's right. Anyway, those are your talks for today.
Good talks, Mock. Good talks. Okay, everybody, bring it in. Everybody, bring it in. It's Monday. Here comes Cash. He wants to say hi. Come here. Say hi. Don't walk away. Come here.
Give me some flappies.
He wants to come here. Say hi. Come here. No, come here.
Cash.
He turns his head. His butt's right here, but he turns his head. Come here. Come here. Come here. Say hi to everybody.
Is he being shy?
Shy.
There he is.
Okay. All right. There it is.
Where's some flaps?
Okay.
I feel him. I feel him coming. It's been so long since we had them.
I know. You got to flap. Are you going to flap? No? Okay. No flaps. He may. I don't know. He's probably going to do it right when we get off the air. Because that's how he rolls. Okay, tomorrow. He'll save some flaps for tomorrow. You guys have a fantastic Monday. So glad to be back. And we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.